Welcome to Disrupted Science, the occasional conversation between the authors of the upcoming book, How the Internet Disrupted Science. I'm Joy Moore, here with my co-author, Kent Anderson, and we're recording this on Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. Hey, Kent, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good, Joy. Hey, Joy. I've got to say, hey, Joy, back. trying to get this kind of a hook in there. People are like, hey, Kent. Hey, Joy. Hey, Joy. Hey, Kent.
Well, this is going to be a quick episode, so maybe I was getting ahead of myself.
That's right. We're going to be a little sloppy today. I'm in a T-shirt too, so it's going to be, it's one of those days. But yeah, so we, it's quick summer kind of hiatus episode this week. We sent out a quick new feature via our Disrupted Science companion newsletter to the Geyser. If you are if you're on the Geyser right now, you can add it to your subscription at no extra cost. Mm-hmm. And what we're going to do is every week we're going to send out sort of the best links from our text exchanges the prior week. And it's an interesting variety of things, I'll tell you that much. And it's a busy exchange because there's a lot going on, and we're not going to add a lot of commentary. We're just going to send you the links, and you'll be able to follow them and see kind of what we're seeing.
Yeah, just a little glimpse into our browsing and reading habits, and a lot of things that inspire us to either write about or talk about, and not all of them.
Or bang our head on the desk,
or go, what? Can you believe it? So yeah, there's a few different articles, and as well as is a pretty long YouTube video about RFK Jr. But I have to say, and I don't know much about this creator, but he did a pretty comprehensive job running through all of the different issues and stances that he's taking, and so it's worth a long watch.
And the sort of proto-dog spelling of various phrases and things is hilarious. It just really kind of brightens my day to read those kind of things. So yeah, if you watch it, you'll see what we mean.
Yeah, so. It's refreshing to just call bullshit when it is,
Yep, absolutely. So speaking of that, I'm going to swerve over into this. So did you happen to listen to Ed Zitron's podcast today?
I didn't. I haven't gotten to that yet.
So we may have to. I'll send you a paper later, but it's okay. Chat GPT is bullshit. It's a reissue of a episode where he talks to three academics, and they had published a paper about how Chat GPT is bullshit. We're gonna have to put the explicit click on this one, but they talk about soft bullshit and hard bullshit. And the soft bullshit is that it's always trying to make you think that it knows what it's talking about. Mm-hmm. And the hard bullshit is it's trying to make you think that it's that it's an intelligence, that it's something you can talk to and ask questions of and expect good answers from. And it's a really interesting episode and gets to some of the epistemic issues with LLMs generally. So so it's a good one. It's a good one. So all right. That was my detour.
That was your
screeching detour into into another podcast. But so we'll talk about our podcast instead. How about that?
Yeah. So we are. Is this our 10th or our 11th?
This is our 11th.
Okay.
We have 10 in the can.
Yeah.
So
that's gone by pretty quickly. And I think, and hopefully you guys will agree, I think that we're getting better. We definitely put a little bit more into the production value.
Yep, we're trying. We're trying with all of our production staff. You're looking at them. And but yeah, we have 10 episodes. We're getting good feedback. We started off with Maha Archive and Gaslight Science, our first look, and recommending the AI Con book. That seems like forever ago. Mm-hmm. And that was June 4th. That's when you really started playing pickleball, right?
It was. That's right, when I signed up. That was my first week. Mm-hmm.
So we're putting all these little markers in our lives. Then June 11th, we talked in depth about gaslight journals. The 18th, we talked for the first time about whether AI is leading us down The Wrong Road. On the 25th, we talked about Substack, Ghost, and the New Gray Literature. Mm-hmm. July 2nd, we talked about what was at the time a terrible week for science, and that seems like a title we could be using again and again at this point.
But I think that
July,
I would say
go ahead.
that marked a kind of a turning point. I think that was when the things that you just couldn't believe were happening happened. And now we're just kind of getting used to it.
Yeah, it's grinding on.
Yeah.
And I think actually somewhat losing momentum and steam, and I think more people are on top of it, but it's still terrible. Mm-hmm. We talked July 10th, we did a special quick episode about the NIH trying to disrupt scientific publishing. Mm-hmm. And then we talked July 16th about sleuths and airing our dirty laundry, and a few other topics. July 23rd, we talked about scientific publishing's Epstein files and what we called the Farm Report, which was about the USDA and all the damage being done to the agricultural community through all of this. July 30th, we talked about the coming AI winter, which really seems to be happening. Mm-hmm. Chat GPT-5, or whatever they're calling it, GPT-5, released to and is being just castigated as underwhelming and still having major problems and not living up to its potential. And so the critics are really pouncing all over that, and that's going to have significant business repercussions. And we're also hearing from people working in companies doing AI that initiatives are not panning out, and they're slowly being and quietly being wound down without making major public stink about it, because that would hurt stock prices. Mm-hmm. And then last week we talked about comparing OpenAct Gold OA to what we called the dumbest ad business.
Yeah.
And that was in reaction to some extent to the PNAS paper, but also to the fact that really putting a finger on the point that nobody is talking about the business drivers behind all of this. And if we were to actually run this as a paid placement business, we would run it differently and better and make more money from it. Mm-hmm. Honestly, if we were honest with ourselves, we could make a lot more money doing this. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where we are with the podcast. Do you have any other thoughts
Well, I was talking with a friend about it, and so far we've been about almost a week ahead of the types of things that we've been talking about over the next week or so are not only still relevant, but maybe just coming out in the broader press. So I think if we keep on this track, and that's our goal, is to pick up on things, as we see them emerging and putting them into context with publishing. And so that's what we're going to keep on doing. And if people have any topics that you want us to dig into, certainly send them our way.
Yep. disruptedscience@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good to hear. And hopefully this 1 week of short episodes doesn't get us back in sync with the real world instead of ahead of it. But but we also are going to make some changes to the podcast. Mm-hmm. One of them is we're going to start doing some interviews with people, so it's not just us, because there are people who we're reading their books, or we've interviewed them in email, or we've just are fans of them and their thinking. And we're going to try to get them on for interviews. And we actually have one scheduled, and we're in the process of scheduling another. And we want to bring them to you because they come at these same topics from different fields, and it all kind of lines up. Mm-hmm. But also, we're not here just to talk. We want to learn too, and we want to bring you voices that aren't ours. So that's coming up.
Yep, that's exciting.
It is. I'm really looking forward to how badly we can mess that up from a production standpoint. It's going to be amazing. Welcome for a car crash.
3? No, come on.
There'll be 3 screens. No, it'll be awesome. This is actually a really nice platform. It'll be a lot of fun. And these people are probably more experienced than we are at it. At least the first 2 that we're talking to. Mm-hmm. But if you have recommendations, if you have people you think we should interview, or if you are one of those people, email us at disruptedscience@gmail.com or contact us in ways that you know how to, because we're pretty easy to find.
Yeah.
And then we're going to try to tackle what we think is the most central issue, most important issue, which is governance.
There's been so much talk about collective action. It seems, when we're looking at that PNAS article or basically anything else that has to do with integrity or, business models in the industry, it seems like collective action is the default answer, and it's the easiest answer. The harder thing is to make decisions, and that requires governance. And so we want to spend some time putting together our views and some recommendations around the types of actions, not necessarily collective actions, but decisive actions that could really make a difference through proper governance or a revised version of governance. We're not saying that we have all the answers, but we'd like to make some suggestions and explore some new ways of thinking about these things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I think that's the meat of the episode this week, and then we'll move on to discoveries of the week. Does that sound good?
I just do what I want. I want to do one shout out. A couple of things popped up from a journal that I haven't been paying that close attention to lately, but one that was very near and dear to my heart when I worked with them, and that is Annals of Internal Medicine, and Christine Lane. Nice job. Yes.
Nice job. Thank you. And she's fantastic, and that's a journal that's underappreciated for what it does, because it's kind of in the shadow of some of the bigger brand names, but it's a really, really good journal, and she's a great editor and really works hard at it, and she's decisive.
Yeah.
And so a little bit of the backstory there, as I understand it, is RFK made a stink about retracting an article from there that he didn't like, and she said, nope.
She said, there's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah. Go away. Go away, RFK.
Excellent.
There's a T-shirt there. All right, so on to discoveries of the week. That was a great shout out. All right, I'll start out with discoveries of the week because I thought this was just hilarious. But you have the funniest one.
I do. Actually,
you have the funniest one. So mine's funny in mine's interesting. So, there was an interesting little thread on Blue Sky where somebody said, "What's your favorite food fact that is true but sounds totally made up?" And one was that about half the mushrooms produced across the United States each year are produced in one county in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And that's interesting. And then the follow-up after that was all of the penicillin in use worldwide comes from a strain of mold that was growing on a cantaloupe bought at a grocery store in Peoria, Illinois in 1942. And I love that kind of stuff. And it led us to have a conversation about interesting genetic strains of rice and other foods. And that led us to your discovery of the week, which was fantastic.
The Ludacrisp apple. Which is,
go on.
Yes. And so there's a wonderful website. If you are an Apple lover, or especially if you're an Apple hater, if you've got things against bad apples, I've got a website for you. It's called applerankings.com. And it's their tagline is 100% accurate rankings of different strains of apples from best to worst, and the descriptions are fantastic.
Such good writing. Yes, so funny.
Yeah. But the Ludacrisp apple is one that I don't know if I need to start off on a cross-country journey, where I can find one, because I'm a big fan of the Honey Crisp and the Cosmic Crisp, but I have not yet to taste a Ludacrisp apple, and I think that
And it's highly rated.
it's
I
highly
mean, it
rated.
gets really good ratings, right? I mean, that's what was surprising is it actually exists and it gets really good ratings. It's a good apple.
Luda.
So those are our discoveries of the week. All food related, all genetic, kind of interesting genetic strains that we led us to a discussion about how we forget how important a single scientific discovery can be to changing food,
Yeah.
to changing how we eat and what's available and how much we have and how resistant it is and all that good stuff. So here's to good strains of rice, cantaloupes in Peoria, and mushrooms in Pennsylvania, and ludicrous apples wherever you may find them.
That's right.
All right, we'll be back next week with a longer episode. If you have any recommendations or thoughts, please contact us at disruptedscience@gmail.com. And thanks to our friends at Provoke the Truth, for the music. And as always, let us know what you think.
All right. Have a happy summer weekend.
Oh, what silly sign off? Do we have one? Short episode? What do we do for a short episode? Silly sign off.
Oh, it's National Joke Day coming up, I've heard. Do you have any dad?
Oh, so
do you have any dad jokes at the
yeah,
ready?
I've got a knock knock joke.
Okay.
But you start it.
Knock knock.
Who's there? See, it works. It's great. The perfect dad joke. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.